That could be a factor because no spoilers, but some of these forecasted totals, as we mentioned, especially between number 3 to number 5.
Oh yeah, they're basically basically the same weight. And that's a good lift for Joshua Mata, and that's why it's really important to, as much as you can, go 6 for 6 in a meet. I feel like setting yourself up 6 for 6 puts you in the best position to take these chances when it comes to deadlift. And like you said, first to fifth right now, forecasted only 12.5 kilos apart. That's literally one missed lift. Missing one lift right now could cost you podium at this point. Our heaviest opener right now for Flight G, Linchu Pateo at 200 kilos.
Well, he's closing the deal on 200. He saw the 197s, but mind you guys, he is almost 10 kilos lighter than our previous lifters here, so our 74s are coming out to play with a convincing 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded for elite jump kickball.
What's that? You can't be allowed what?
You can't be lower than your weight class. You're 74. You can't do that. You have to be 74.05 or 01. You can't be anything below.
Oh, so you have to be flat. Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. Yeah.
Oh, but it's U74, not.
Yes, I thought it was U83.
Okay, well, we just had a little bit of a clarification on the rule set.
No, that's on me.
No, there's a purveyor of false information.
Sorry,
on
and
the desk.
that was me, and I'm sorry. Anyway,
it could've been
Elijah, you'd think with all my years lifting that I'd have it all together, but that's a good lift now, and a pretty big,
that's a
it's
huge
sizable jump for him, 12.5, but he seems really good. He already put up his third in like lightning speed. I have no idea how he got his third up on the board already. 180 now for one.
The bar is loaded for one season.
Oh, he's already decided
He decided what his third would be in like a split second.
Oh my god.
I feel like he didn't perform yet, and he was already like loaded up. Anyway, 180 now, 10 kilo jump for Juan Dizon.
Man. Yeah, maybe that's how he decided. Like, he just gave a glance to the, I believe, like to the other table.
Like, his handler had like 6 papers for different increments.
The preparation is insane, but like you mentioned, some of these jumps are quite big.
Very nice grind. He stayed really well on his quads. Like, you'd think that wasn't gonna go up, but he just made sure to stay on his quads, just keep pushing, trying to stand up, and a very good grind. I know I can see them giving a third attempt. I'm gonna assume it's 185. I'm not sure if he's in contention for anything for them to do 182.5 and just like get as much kilos, and it looks like he put on 182.5, just trying to get his kilos in.
You know, that being said, like you said, there was a lot of discipline to just stay tight on the way up, especially when, as you've explained to me, his personal sticking point did look kind of obvious. But then, hey, he grinded it out, played it as well as he could, and now it's Dan Telebrico looking to dominate this 180 and not looking too difficult for him at all. And from our point of view, that looked like it was good depth. I'm not surprised if it's 3 white lights, and it is.
Really good lift for him. 190 now for Ino Calo. Another 10 kilo jump. Seeing a lot of 10 kilo jumps from our lifters right now. and you have a little bit of a disadvantage lifting before your competitors, right? But
I feel like that can go two ways too. Like with supreme confidence, you could show the world that this is the
you
pace.
could actually, there have been cases where people in earlier flights won over the later flights, right? So, Caleb right now, men's junior 83, trying to take 190 with a 10 kilo jump.
Honestly, some of these second attempts are looking like first attempts to me.
Those are easiest attempt yet. It seems like he has a lot of energy left in him. I'm wondering if they're gonna push for another 10 kilo, go somewhere between 5 to 7.5.
Could be possible, but they haven't decided just yet. Okay.
They've
You're right
gone
on the
for
money.
the 10. Joshua Gaviola now, a bigger jump than last time, 50 kilo. But if I remember correctly, this is the lifter who had a very, very speedy opener. And went, I
That's
think
15.
this, yep, he's the lifter who smiled at the top of his squat
Put it on the bar.
and went off the platform really confident. So I understand why he asked for this 15 kilo jump.
Kilo is gonna pay off. Locking in for depth looks pretty good from the front, I think, and on the way up.
2 to 1, and it's a good lift.
Oh, surprisingly, it's one of the side referees to call a red light on that.
It could be, we were talking about this. Some lifters, they tend to shift towards their stronger leg. It
that's
could
right.
be maybe, obviously we can't see it from our angle, but maybe he could have a bit of a hip shift, lean towards one leg, hence why one is deeper. But of course, it was still 2 to 1, still a good lift. If he executes just like that on his next attempt, it's still gonna be a good lift. So right now, but 205 for Carl at
Imagine like you ask, why do you need two red plates? I like the color red. 5, ready to be set onto place.
Nice.
And fly, pretty convincing.
himself a little nod. It's like, yeah, that went well. Linshu Patea
Mr.
now.
Mountaineer himself crossing the stage.
And the mountains and higher mountains.
Yeah, remember
he had
guys,
to
when life
climb.
is hard, it could be harder.
Exactly. That's from Lance Lacuan himself.
We're talking a little bit over some of these attempts, but
Yeah.
again, everybody on these second attempts have been so convincing that it's just telling us that, okay, this is nowhere near what they could potentially do, even though we already see some of those jumps being, then again, on that third attempt. But maybe this could change with Linshu Pateo here on the bar, representing Giant Training Systems.
Giant Training Systems, I think, originates in Bacolod. So this really is a national
Oh yeah.
level meet.
Oh yeah.
And I think Linshu...
Executive for YouTube.
I'm so sorry if it's not from there and I just assumed represented it really well with how quickly that second, that was 210 and it moved just like that.
Potential purveyor of misinformation, but the bar
I'm
don't
so
lie.
sorry.
The bar don't lie though. That went up really convincingly, like you mentioned, and from wherever he's training from, everybody watching and supporting him, it should be very proud on that second attempt. But now from Mayhem Powerlifting is Joshua Antonio Mata with 210 on the bar, another big jump. I think that should be like 12 if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That looked like nothing, man. That looked.
I can't tell if he made that face because it was too easy, because that really moved like nothing. Like he didn't even add 12.5 to the bar.
Exactly, and maybe he's just mentally primed right now.
Yeah, like
Oh, and like you said, one Emmanuel Dizon would probably go up for.
Going up 2.5, really just trying to add those kilos. We don't know if this could be an all-time PR for him if he gets this. This is that coveted 400-pound squat.
As you mentioned,
182.5.
the refrigerator squat.
That's
the
a
freezer.
heavy refrigerator.
I think fridges are pretty heavy, dude. Have you ever tried like picking one up? Exactly. No, joking.
182.5 now. If he gets this, he can tell all his friends that he squats 400 pounds. And I feel like if I could squat 400 pounds, I'd tell all my friends I could squat 400 pounds.
Oh yeah, like I said, the moment I'm probably gonna hit at 3x on my deadlift. How's your day? Mine's pretty good because I 3x my body weight. Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, honestly, I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, moving on to the broadcast here. Either way, if this is a personal PR or at least close to eclipsing that PR, there is a lot to celebrate. But for now, one Emmanuel has to get that bar down and back up, and he's grinding for it. But it is a shake on his head, and couldn't get those extra 2 kilos for subs.
185 now for Dan Telebrico. Dan Telebrico now taking 185, choosing to go up 5 kilos.
The more conservative jump from the juniors. Everything has been a little bit more brazen. But hey, if he can get it up, like you said, you just need to grind out as many kilos as you can. Potentially moving into stronger lifts.
I do think as the session goes and as we do get stronger and stronger lifters, we should be expecting bigger jumps. Very nice save by Dan Telebrico, but unfortunately it was a no lift getting called on the yellow. It did look a bit shaky on the way up. Yellow can mean a plethora of things.
Yellow could be red in disguise, but not like. It's like there's a level of errors to it,
Yeah.
right? Like red, fundamental error, as we mentioned yesterday, where it is clearly a no lift. Yellow is like, on more of a technicality than it is a strength thing, and blue
And
could be even deeper into that. But right now, hopefully, he only gets one
Elijah
color.
Kirpo now been really hyped. Like we kind of missed it, but he did the whole walk around the platform, really getting himself focused on this lift. I'm guessing maybe there's a lot for this lift. He is and he's feeling really good. He threw
yes.
his belt.
I love
He actually threw his belt across.
Yes,
like there was so much energy in that I couldn't even commentate. Like so much happened all at once. But a very good lift, very good 185 for Elijah.
I love those
Kiepo.
pop-ups because it's like, yes, and then, that's
Oh
my
wait,
bell.
I paid way too
Oh,
much money
no.
for that. And
But
I
again-
do not want to buy a new one.
Adrenaline is one hell of a thing. You start throwing your phone around in the gym and
And
you're
like,
feeling it. But
speaking of adrenaline, like you can really see it now. Everyone walking up so far. As soon as it changed like boss music too, has been real. It's the way they time it. It's like they time it when they can see a lifter who's so zoned in.
that might be a good idea. Maybe in the future, people could suggest, hey, can you play this music on my walkout? As long as it's-
We'll hear "Bury the Light" 1,000,000 times. So I would not suggest that. 200.
I don't know what that is. I'm kidding. I don't want to sing it because every time I hear "Bury the Light," I already know those words that are ingrained in my mind. But speaking of ingrained, Caleb here is looking to find success, ingraining it in his system.
Really.
He is the storm that is approaching.
Yeah, and like that, I love that energy. Like he just had to like, just shout to get that up, and it's really nice to see this energy. This early in the morning. It's barely 10 a.m. It's just 10 a.m.
It's 10 a.m.
And there's already so much energy in this room. We have Joshua Gaviola now also bringing all this energy.
Like you said, it's only 10 a.m., but it's always lift o'clock. Joshua Gavitla obviously has that watch on him. 210 on, off the bar, but there's a lot of motivational words from everybody in the arena.
I swear, guys, the music, you should just hear it.
You should be here, guys, actually. Oh, and it did look like there was a bit of bounce on that on the way down. Maybe it destabilized him. It did look like he was holding on to one of his legs there, his right leg, actually. He was holding it, he was nursing it just a bit.
I'm hoping that isn't something that he carries into deadlifts. It looks like he has a relatively heavy deadlift opener. Hopefully that's something. It is gonna be a long day. There are a lot of flights. Hopefully he can get his rest in. Carl Advincula now, 215. 10 kilo jump for him.
Big jumps all around,
Took
top
a
10.
bit of a conservative jump from 197 to 205. I'm guessing we saw this yesterday as well. A lot of people taking 7.5 jumps and then switching up to 10 or 5, switching up to 10. So maybe openers, nerves didn't move as well as he wanted. But after getting that that first squat, got a lot more confidence. So let's see how he makes 215.
Does look like that 215 is up.
And I do think 215 was the perfect third attempt. I think that moved really well. I don't think he could have gotten 2.5 more.
I was expecting for you to say that. Like maybe he could have had like 2.5 more, right? It looked like he had that in his tank. But, again, like you said, there are a lot of factors to consider if you want a quote-unquote perfect attempt, whether it be a second or third. But now, Joshua Antonio Mata maybe wants to check all those boxes for his 220 now.
I really can't tell if his expression is...
Others that are obviously RP 1 million and so he has an 8, which is all.
He did have a he did show us a very convincing 210, so I understand the 12.5 jump, especially because he currently is forecasted first for the 74 juniors. There are still 74 juniors competing after him in the succeeding flight, but of course,
that's a lot of juniors.
You want to be able to put up as high as a total as you can and have them chase you. So he's really happy with that. 3 white lights. It's a good lift.
I love the energy this morning.
And I think I mean, it's safe to say he's really happy with that.
I think he was mildly amused. But yeah, the energy this morning has definitely taken another shot of pre. Because yesterday it was a little bit tame up until we tapered towards the end. But now it's just high all the way up.
And starting with flight H, we have Wilfredo Trinidad. Opening with 180 kilos. Representing Manuel Barbell Club, we heard a lot of Manuel Barbell Club. Not only did they sweep the meet, we saw and we heard. Such a supportive team, such a strong team.
Oh,
and a very nice opener for Wilfredo Trinidad.
I mean, yesterday we did see the man.
Yep. Vincent
there's
Antonio.
a very familiar person. Very calm and collected. As we look at Vincent Jeremy Antonio, demolish this opening.
180 kilos.
And I did not realize we're on flight 8. Very good.
Very controlled squat. 3 white lights, and it's a good lift for Vincent Antonio.
Well, we're on the topic and waiting for our next lifter. What's your opinion on knee cave?
Honestly,
It's
it's
unavoidable,
not.
right?
It's not because knee cave can just be you squat. Your stance is a bit wide, and it's natural for your knees to want to go in because you just don't have that mobility to keep it out, right? But some people just prefer squatting wider. But you also see lifters who squat very narrow who still have knee cave. It's just there are women who squat 250, 200,
True.
literally 250 kilos, 300 kilos, and their knees cave, right?
Yep.
But not, let's refocus now.
Oh.
Kyle Fontanilla.
Smile on his face. Looks like he's very confident even at the beginning of this lift, and
You,
smile was warranted. It didn't look like it was just the bar there. Confident. And like you said, there was a little bit of knee
and
cave there too.
talking actually about knee cave, what Kyle Fontanilla actually did on his squat is a really common cue or technique that I see a lot of people do when they squat. That their whole counter to the knee cave is that they literally cue themselves to just fight it out, and you actually saw it really well when he when he was squatting up. That as soon as it caved, his legs just opened up. It's like no. But now we have Raven
Yes.
Villasotes
Well,
opening with
avoiding-
187.5.
Still on the 74s here. We are going to have a plethora of 74s.
And this is a mix of men's open, masters, juniors, and we also have some 83s even. This is a really mixed flight. We have a bunch of 83 junior, sub-junior, 74, all of that.
All with, mind you, monstrous forecasted totals. Again, we're not going to reveal too much, so you guys can keep sitting, keep watching us at the very first SBD PH Nationals. And again, there's just a multitude of techniques being employed by everybody. Shane Ashwin Carulo looking to open up with a 190 so far. And he's expected to podium today, although I don't want to be the one to jinx anything. Looking real good with that bar on his shoulders.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Really fast and really solid technique. We were talking about the knee cave and everything, but he stays really well on his quads. Like, as soon as he bent those knees, shifted those hips, his knees, everything just stayed in place, and it was just an up-down.
And that's how you want the lifts to be. Sure, there's a lot of technicalities, but up-down is the motion you want on essentially everything. Oh, and they're actually showing us on cam.
Michael
Yes.
Jimenez now.
Look at them.
190 for his opener.
And at the moment, he's actually one of the lightest 74s. He's at
Yeah, weighing in at
71.4.
71, yep.
Man, I'll take the commentary hat off for a little bit, but right now Michael Joel Jimenez looking really good with that opener. Wouldn't be surprised if the increments are going to be a bit higher. But again,
We've been seeing really good openers so far. Like,
yeah.
no one that we've seen so far were like, oh, that was too easy. Everyone coming in confident.
It's very measured. You know, the pacing seems like it's perfect for the day so far. And hopefully it will continue. Because when that happens, when everything is like a little bit harder to tell which is which, then you know the day is going to be so incredibly competitive. And we're actually seeing Mr. Kamara here do a 190 himself this time around, still for the 74 men's open and men's junior.
Really wide squat stance, actually.
Yeah? And toes are flared out.
Yep,
But
very making sure that like he has his hips open. I'm guessing to give him more room to sink. That was a no called on depth.
Oh, unfortunate. I mean, we were talking about like the pacing of everything. It did not look like it was a strength issue at all for JSEP. Maybe there was just the more common thing is just the depth issue on the squats. But Kamara JSEP Philip on the rack, looking to put himself on the board. Or rather, I think this is Tom.
Yep,
the
we should
graphic hasn't
have
updated.
Tom Salamat up next.
Again, the boys going in for Tom Salama.
Tom Salamat now. 119.5 being cheered in the background. Angela Gonzalo, who just competed yesterday. Angela, of course, manning the Aster Media booth. So 192.5. Tom has been nursing a knee injury. It's still ongoing, but it's
Doesn't
been
look like
getting
it.
better. It's been getting better. I know last November he ended his squats with 190 and now he's opening with 192. So I feel like it's safe to say that whatever injury he's had, it's at least getting better.
Strong makes me pain. I think that's what they
Tom
say.
is one of my salon past friends.
Oh man.
We have the same stack. Ibuprofen, Fastum.
Oh, the mortality of us all are really showing right now. But Broderick Colanto Cruto with 195 as an opener. Still, I believe, for the 83s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yup, he is an 83 junior. 195 kilos for his opener. And I just went ahead to check the succeeding sessions. We do have even more 74 juniors and 83 juniors in session 2. So this is gonna be a long day of finding out if you're podiuming or not in the morning session. But
Supposed to be my weight class? Come on, man.
195 also from Giant Training Systems. So a lot of these lifters are mostly from the Visayas region, so I wouldn't be surprised if he also flew in from somewhere. And just to showcase all this strength, all this talent here now, 195.
Very clean 195.
But 2 to 1, it was high, called on depth.
Again, that's why we have multiple perspectives, so it's just not skewed
It
one
was
way.
wide in the center, so he just does have to bring it a bit lower on the sides. 195 now for Yojin Bermeo.
Well, that did look really easy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same thing that a lot of the lifters did yesterday, where they'd still move up by maybe an increment of 2.5 to 5. But Bermeo Yojin on 195 too. 74 this time around. There was a bunch of 83s ahead of him, but we're back to the slightly, actually considerably lighter weight class. Still, the strength is very much present. Beautiful.
That's good lift for Yoshi. Those who told same weight 200.
Winston Salvador up next with one of the many 200 openers of the day. Currently 81 kilos, so I'd still say that's one of the decently lighter people under on U83.
Winston Salvador now, 200 kilos, our heaviest opener for this flight. We're seeing 200 being attempted twice, but first by Winston Salvador. Pretty tall, honestly, for an 83 kilo lifter. Like, what rack height is that?
That's pretty high, actually. But hey, maybe this is how like his setup is gonna go. I do think height is a very, very interesting topic, especially when it comes to the sport itself.
It's more of there's a certain average between weight classes, so it's pretty surprising when someone looks taller than their weight class.
He looks like for his class. He must be a deadlifter.
Hey, that's actually often the case.